Hey guys, Danny Johnson here, and today we're going to talk about a fun experience I had today and a new friend that I met, and his name is Patrick. Now, usually in the car world, it's typical to meet somebody who's about your same age. In this case, Patrick is the same age as my father. And that actually means a lot to me right now since 2 years ago I lost my father to cancer. And so it was kind of fun to meet somebody who reminded me in a lot of ways of my dad, just the way that he would talk and his kind of era that he grew up. And somebody also who respected me as being somebody who literally could be the same age of his son. So we're going to talk about the story today and what was going on. And as you can see in the intro here, he has a mineral gray 2003 SVT Cobra convertible. But when I first came over, he also showed me his laser red SVT Cobra 2001. Beautiful car, and very similar to my setup. I have a Cobra and a Mach 1. It's kind of the same thing. And we were laughing because he was telling me about somebody who came up to him and wanted to buy the taillights off him. And I told him I had a video about that I had just posted. And he actually had seen some of my videos. And so we started the car up, and we were just kind of talking cars, and we decided to look down in and look at the casting, and we were just trying to figure out if the car had the WAP block, which is Windsor Assembly Plant, or the more sought-after Texid block, and sure enough, it had the checkers, the square casting, so it had that. And we then moved on to his springs, because he loves the springs that are in his 01 Cobra. Now, his 01 Cobra sits on 18-inch AFS 03, 04 Cobra wheels, and the concern he had, and the whole reason I had come over, is because we were trying to figure out why his 03 Cobra was giving him so much trouble sitting wrong. And so we started doing some research, and ultimately we decided we were going to go towards a different lowering spring for him. And so we were looking at some of the H&R race springs. A lot of the 03, 04 Cobra guys have a lot of good luck with these. And I was showing him on SVT Performance some of the pictures that other people had posted, and their success with certain springs. And so we then went to look at what spring was currently on his car, because he had removed isolators and done other things to try to get it to sit right, but ultimately he was at a loss. And what we found was a very big problem. So we found the part number, as you can see here on the screen, and when we referenced that, it came back to a 79 to 93 Fox body. So this is not the right spring for an 03 Cobra, which, as you may know, for the Cobras, even they differentiated from the 01 Cobra and the 02 Concept because of the heavier supercharger and iron block. And so for a lighter Fox body, that's a problem. And so he had Fox body springs up front, and then we cross-referenced this part number in the back, and it did come to an 01 Cobra. And the 01 Cobra springs were still different than the Terminator's stock for stock, but what we found in a lot of our research is that when you go to an aftermarket spring, the 9901 Cobra is the same part number as the 0304. I guess they make them work for all those cars when it comes to be a lowering spring. So we couldn't go off of a baseline of what was in the car. He knew what he wanted height-wise by putting his fingers between the fenders. And so basically it came down to he wanted a perfect gap of 3 fingers. So we decided we'd come up with a plan of how we were going to get the perfect gap for his car and know how much of a drop we wanted, whether it was the 1 inch or the 1.5 inch drop. And so this is kind of the crazy plan we came up with. Financial accounting.
Nothing going.
Okay, so what we're doing is taking off some wheels here. We're putting his wheels on my car, since mine's at exact factory height, no different springs, nothing. And that way, we're going to be able to tell with his exact wheel how much of a drop he wants on a stock car. And the reason we need to know on a stock car is because the springs will tell you how much it'll drop on just a stock car. So perhaps there was a more scientific way of figuring this out, but being car guys, this is what we were going to do. We decided to swap his FR500s onto my Terminator, which was the perfect, factory height with insulators, everything, and then take our measurements from there. And we were able to come up with exactly how much of a drop he wanted, and so he's currently now looking at springs on eBay. And of course, these FR500s looked fantastic on my car. I thought they looked great with the chrome. I'm a purist. I like to keep the 03, 04 Cobra wheel on a Terminator. But at the same time, it was fun to see this on the car. And I really haven't had other wheels on this car other than a bullet with a drag radial in the rear at one point. Anyway, so we'll keep you posted on what he ultimately decides. We'll give you some install videos, of course, on the lowering springs. And I can put a few links in the description now on caster camber plates and some other similar videos if you're looking to do any of this kind of work. So anyway, stay tuned and thanks for watching.